올라갑니다. 올라갑니다.
세기.
터질 수 있어. 한기.
네, 너무 잘 맞고 있어요.
수비 좋아요. 깔끔한 역전.
알모사를 누구보다도 잘 써야 돼요.
야, 들어왔어요. 그러면서 훅구르까지 떨어지고 훅 떨어지고
네.
점점점 다리에 힘이 풀리고 제재입니다. 제재. 점사해주고 있는 양 선수입니다.
좀 진작 많아요.
이제 나오기
다 들어야 돼요. 다 들어야 돼요. 다 들어야 되는데.
아, 진짜 시간을 거꾸로도 감당이 안 됩니다.
지지가 나오기 직전이고
소왕 뺏겼고요.
네, 갑니다. 조시현 의
손이 못 붙어.
역장 너무 좋아요.
환상적인 역장 떨어졌습니다.
야,
시간을
이거 김승철도 잡아내나요?
야, 김승철까지 2승 제물로 만듭니까? 올라갑니다. 최재성. 자, 머리는 떨구고요.
기갑병 머리 위에 떨어지면서 너무 오랜만에 나왔기 때문인가요? 김동호 선수 약간의 경기가 마음대로 풀리지 않았고
세 개 연속 지어지고 있습니다.
근데 시대 많아요. 시대
이러고 나서 조전 치면 난리 나는 거거든요.
아, 그래서 제가 이러다고 말씀드리지 않았습니까? 이거 해봐야 합니다.
밀려요. 이건 누구를 위한 세레머니입니까, 이거? 강동현이 이거 역전해냅니다. 굴러가고 있고요, 왼쪽 쪽. 자, 일단 1선 그리고
단계.
업의 차이가 있거든요. 업의 차이를 믿고 강동현이 밀고 들어갑니다. 2킬까지 기록하기 직전. 지지 강동현. 본진 조바퀴가 나옵니다.
야, 이거는 아무리 이어표라고 해도 좀 흔들릴 수밖에 없겠는데요.
한쪽을 다시 한번 노리고 있는 진입원 선수.
네, 다시 한 번 더 여기에 일벌레 타격 그리고 부하장 타격을 보면 경기 이거 뒤집을 수가 없습니다.
네, 오늘 차이가 많이 납니다.
아, 딱 봐도 이거는 한 3겹.
네,
3겹 정도 차이 나 보이죠?
거의 새우버거와 빅맥의 차이예요. 제재. 강동현이 제대로 끊어냈습니다. 최출 타이밍 한번 잡았네요. 최수성의 병력 지워주고요. 위쪽에서 보면적까지 키고 있습니다.
진규 잘 들어갔어요. 진규 대박.
네,
자, 고음부의 진규 써고 저걸 정멸시켜야 저거 이길 수 있습니다.
네, 자, 여기서 거신만 모두
거신만 잡아도 거신 다 들어갔고요. 자, 소방도 치면서 역장까지 떨어집니다. 자, 여기서 한번 제대로 붙고 있는 양 선수.
달라붙죠.
자, 정면으로 기분을 찍어 들어오고 있는 최종현. 다시 한번 추가 병력 소환이 있습니다만 이 구수는 2배 가까이 차이가 나고 있고요.
힘에 붙입니다. 이제는
지지.
아니
파고 들어서 송대경.
방일업이 되기 직전
네. 자, 이게 한순간에 밀릴 수 있거든요.
지금 유단이 스킬가 약간은 흩어져서 싸워서
네. 자, 한번 잘 터졌고요. 두 번째까지. 자, 일벌레로 갑니다. 일벌레. 아, 저글링으로 갑니까? 일벌레.
한 번에
얼로 가죠.
하는 것도 약간 위험해요.
자, 여왕이 몸으로 막고 있고요.
한번 여기서 방어머리 위에
자, 내립니다.
근데 거기서는 뭐 동원 아주 잘 쫓고요, 지금서.
네. 막히는 분위기입니다. 예. 정면 쪽에서 다시 한번 붙고 있습니다. 양 선수.
네, 뭐 소방패는 없지만 역장 보이지 않네요. 정말 유리해요.
자, 그대로 싸워주는 선수입니다.
광전사를 너무 많이 믿으면 안 됩니다.
아, 밀어냅니다. 수정탑까지 밀어낼 수 있습니다. 이명병력이 해군주를 타고 이동하고 있습니다.
정면.
구름까지 떨어지게 된다면 공성전사는 바보가 될 수밖에 없습니다.
자, 막아내면 희망이 있거든요. 그래도 김영희 선수.
자, 힘으로 찍어 누르는데요. 구름 한번 쓰고 밀어붙이고 있습니다. 실버 제재. 자, 본진 갑니다.
본진장아.
자, 일단 탱크는 내리고 있고.
여기 잡으면 일단 제 2학사까지 공식하게 다 들어갑니다. 네, 여기가 진짜 오랜 시간이 끝나네요.
엉덩이를 장악합니다. 왼쪽으로 장악해요.
AZUBU crushed StarTail twice 4-1, only life able to take both wins there, and now they are 3-0 against Axiom-Acer, a score nobody predicted to see this early. There's a dominant lead.
No heavy face on this bench at this point.
No, not a single one.
Axiom-Acer is not only in trouble, they are in a world of pain. They are 0-3 right now after they were crushing their opponents in the regular season. Crank losing the last game here.
Yeah, he's still affected by it, as you can see. very rare to see a Korean player, you know, lose in such fashion, especially somebody who leads the team and is always the motivator. Just looks so defeated in the booth after a game like that.
MMA, you might not even see him today. He is the player for the 6th that he would go up against Sleep. There was a lot of trash talk between them before the match started today. This is crazy, and I cannot wait for the next game. We have Hart, we have MMA, and we have Alicia, the 3 remaining players for Axiom-Acer. They have to turn things around, bring us into an ace match if Axiom-Acer wants to have a chance today.
Alicia had a smile on his face, all right? And that's the first step, is to be able to sit in the booth and be able to relax a little bit, at least, knowing that he is the only thing stopping his team from being all killed right now. And if he loses, it's all over. But he is not the only one who has to win. He has to, you know, start the comeback.
Exactly. Total Biscuit, the manager of Team Axiom-Acer, he tweeted earlier that he couldn't sleep last night, that he had a very bad feeling, and that he finally knows why.
Yeah, well, the bad feeling may continue unless these 3 players are able to bring us into that tie, that ace match situation in game number 7.
Keep in mind, though, that even if Axiom-Acer loses today, we still have tomorrow.
Yes, there is always tomorrow. And tomorrow is the all-kill format, a totally different format where Axiom-Acer said they feel more confident in because they have Innovation. But, you know, Innovation did lose today, you know, surprising a ton of people.
Yeah, but they have to take him down tomorrow. But Innovation losing against Ragnarok today, and he played great. But now we have game number 4. This game could end things, which is insane if you think about it. Nobody expected this. Nobody. There were, of course, people that said, like, yeah, AZUBU got this. They have the momentum right now. They are absolutely in a killing spree here. But an 0-3, nobody thought that could actually happen. Now we're going to game number 4 at the GSTL Finals. Day number 1, AZUBU going up against Axiom-Acer with an 0-3. Axiom-Acer finds himself currently in trouble, and we are jumping into the match between Alicia and Sente at the GSTL. All on roll. Starting to the bottom left, we have the Protoss player for Axiom-Acer. Their 4th player today, it is
Alicia.
Alicia.
When the shit hit the fan, you have to send someone in to clean the mess up, and Axiom-Acer just sent in Alicia to start to take down the Terran player to the top right of the map for Team AZUBU.
AZUBU Center.
I'd say most people are favoring Alicia when you look at the map and the players alone. You know, for example, before the match even started. But Center has had some surprising wins in the past, and also don't forget that the momentum is definitely in his favor right now.
That's true, but there are actually like a couple of funny facts if you look at this, because Senta and Alicia, they met twice already in this GSTL season, and Alicia won both games. So Senta is currently looking at an 0-2 against this Protoss opponent. But today seems to be opposite day, because we also saw Innovation in a lead against Ragnarok in direct comparison, and Ragnarok took that game. So even though Alicia should feel really confident in this matchup, since he has great win ratio, he has a great sample size, he has a lot of experience, he took down this very opponent several times already this season. But still, if your team is 0-3, you worry.
Yeah, you certainly do. Alicia has to be the motivator right now. I've said it several times already, but he needs to be the one who takes the win and tells his team, you know, we've got this. Not only, I think things might be okay, maybe we can do this, but we've got this. And we have a very quick Reaper coming out here for Center. It's not only just the Reaper Expand Reaper. He rushed it out. He got his barracks up a little bit faster, and he's going to have just, with this, the Reaper will come in, try to poke a little bit, but it's all about the scouting information. He wants to identify where are the pylons. Are you going for, you know, an early aggression? What's going on? What's the gateway timing? Where's the core at? And he's going to be able to block this Nexus for quite some time, and when the Reaper shows up, it could even be more annoying.
Yeah, the Nexus goes down though as the SCV proceeds into the main base and does not try to simply block on the low ground. Alicia getting his expansion up here. The Reaper, of course, jumping in quite soon. The Mothership core already building. And this time we see a more normal game compared to what we had between Crank and Supernova.
Yeah. Reactor goes down. Command Center goes down with the Nexus here. Couldn't be more normal. Even cancels the Zealot, of course, upon seeing the SCV Scout, knowing what's up. And when the Reaper comes in, the Mothership core should easily be able to deflect. Sees the Nexus, sees one pylon, sees two. We'll check for the third. Well, not quite actually able to see it, so that's going to be a little bit stressful. Okay, so he commits. Oh, still not able to see it. And that's actually pretty scary if you don't see the third pylon.
Yeah, he doesn't have no idea where it actually is. Might move in, but right now I am very... I mean, for me, it's all in center's court now. This is one of the games where also Axiom-Acer thought, alright, we're going to take this. Alicia is 2-0 against the AZUBU player already against center. He's great in the matchup, has a lot of experience there, great win ratio. And even if they take the game, keep in mind they need to win the two next matches as well. And those are Zerg versus Terran, both of them. We have Boom Boom going up against Hart. And then later on we have the match where MMA is playing against Sleep. So very tough matches. And they could go either way.
Twilight Council will be spotted here. Oh, he does not see it! Just barely missing all of his scouts here. And he's going for a very aggressive tech-oriented build where he's getting his Widow Mines out. We'll be going for a drop follow-up.
Exactly.
But if this is going to be Blink, which it is, as you can see on the production tab, he will have very few units to defend if he doesn't see it.
And he has no idea?
He actually might want to just go ahead and scan here because he has no idea what's coming. And if he's going to try to go for this type of tech without seeing what's happening, he's taken a big risk here.
Yeah, I mean, he should have maybe just YOLO'd that Reaper into the main base and sacrificed
Okay,
it.
he's going for it now. Reaper comes in here. And he's got to commit this time.
This time he's going to see it.
And he will see it and sees the Chronos, sees no Dark Shrine, he knows exactly what's coming.
Okay, now he knows.
Even confirms there's no Dark Shrine in the main.
YOLO the Reaper into the main base. This one Reaper gives his life for the Terran player and for the scouting information, and it was well worth it. He's a martyr right now.
Now what he needs to do is get bunkers ready, make sure he's got his Widow Mines positioned properly. Alicia has some of the best Blink Stalker micro in Korea, and if you Blink Stalker micro perfectly against the Widow Mine shots, they are projectiles, they can still be dodged, so if he micros just at the right second, he can actually avoid every single Widow Mine shot. So the Widow Mines are useful here, but they might not be able to do a whole lot for him, you know, if Alicia is prepared for that. He's going to try to get a siege tank out here.
And we also have the Forge now going down for Alicia, so already planning to maybe head into not only the armor upgrade, but into a longer game. But we have the gateways then. He's definitely going to commit to some kind of Blink aggression. But the siege tank is already on the way.
Here comes the Widow Mine. No observers, of course. The cannon's, of course, not ready yet either. He starts one, but it's a bit too late.
Uh-oh. And
3 down already.
Gets 3 down, drops another one into the main base,
Cannon's
and
still not
suddenly
ready.
that attack is thwarted. All that aggression is
he's going to kill a
waste.
Stalker here. Oh, he targets actually instead to get 3 additional kills.
And he denies the mining time. And not only a little bit of it, he denies a lot of mining time, and there is still no potential of actually getting a cannon. Finally, he puts one down, but that Widow Mine is going to get another shot off.
Yep. And I should actually pull his probe so he takes just the one.
Oh, and...
Yeah, there he goes, just the one.
Oh,
no, he targets, and he gets 3
6
additional.
kills!
Oh, and now it's 39-31. The tech, the money in tech he spent for the Blink is useless because now he's missed his timing window.
Oh
he
my
even
God.
salvages a bunker because he knows he doesn't need that anymore.
Wow.
What is he going to do, Blink on a siege tank here? I don't think so.
Well, good luck with that, with all those Marines already there. He has 2 bunkers as well. This is not looking good.
Siege tanks recently buffed as well, don't forget.
Yeah, they shoot a little bit faster now.
There's Templar Archives going down. He's trying to transition here, but this is less than uncomfortable, to say the least, right now for Alicia, who's trying to go into charge as well. This is not going to be a mech composition. Nice! This is one small victory to catch the medevac here.
Really well done. That's exactly what he needed there. That was actually a big win, I'd say. I mean, not catching the medevac would further have crippled his attack and his momentum. But right now, at least he took down 1 full medevac. That was really important.
Yeah. Alright, now he's going to try to go backdoor here, and he will be successful. There's nothing to stop him. He's going to get some Harvesters here. Alicia, like I said, one of the best Blink Stalker players you can ever find. He may even get a depot here. Definitely going to get a few more SCVs. 1, 2, 3 more.
Yeah, he takes on a few of them, and you know it's really important for him to make moves like this, to not lose your head, but to do the few things that you can do. 11 Harvesters killed against 13. We have the cannons now in main base and natural, so Widow Mine's not an option any longer. Storm has been started, but the Harvester count, 43 against 42. You never want to see that in a Terran versus Protoss if you're the Protoss player. Terran can rely on the extra income with the mules. They have to sacrifice a lot of time when they're actually upgrading the command center into an orbital. Protoss doesn't do that. They use the chrono boost to get the probes out a little bit faster. So Alicia finds himself behind in income.
Consider also, though, that center is very far behind in tech. He has siege tanks, which not be very useful throughout the later stages of the mid game and into the late game. He also doesn't have stim. +1 is very late. Alicia is going to have 1-1 before just +1 attack is done for center. And he already has Storm Duck completed. charge, blink. Tech is incredible for Alicia right now, and I feel that alone gives him a pretty good edge here. Economy-wise, yes, he is not in an ideal position. He's even behind in Harvesters right now as I speak, but I really like his position in Tech, and he will be able to take fights easily.
Storm is done, and that was important. Like, taking down the drop earlier was one of the most crucial things in this game after the bad start that Alicia had here against Center's Widowmine drops. So taking down that one medevac really, really helped him. But right now, the Terran player, he is moving out. Stim is nearly done. Not just yet, rather he snipes the medevac already. And really good moves here by Alicia. A lot of patience, moves back in time, snipes the medevac, and that is well worth it.
Yeah, it almost looked like Center was trying to use the medevac to bait. It didn't work.
Craziest toasted pile that I've seen in a long time in the main base of Alicia, by the way.
Yeah, and here's that perfect storm. Double perfect storms. Those are the best storms you could ask for, and that's it for this attack. Sorry,
Yeah.
you gotta pick up and leave.
Center is on the run, and for a good reason. He's being sniped now. A few units being taken out, and oh my god, he's losing the tank and the Marauders here. Probably just using an auto attack, not even trying to run away.
Yeah, I gotta say, Alicia had a massive lead right now,
Yeah.
and Center has to tuck his tail between his legs and put bunkers up right now to stop the attack. It's not even a timing attack, it's just an attack opening that he has because he just killed so much of that army during that pressure that Center had. There's way too many zealots here. I don't think he can hold.
Well done by Alicia here. Here come those storms, and the Protoss player never lost his head. He's moving in right now, doing the damage that he can dish out. Another storm hits home from behind. The Stalkers trying to get the shots up for the good wall for the Terran player, using those bunkers and the SCVs for the repair.
Yeah, and he actually holds. I'm a little bit surprised here. There's just a lot of zealots in this composition that got deflected by the wall. More Archons being morphed right now. It looks like he's committing no probes in production.
And we currently have a game that is going to take a little bit longer to find a conclusion here. The third base for Center is up. Alicia is moving in again. He has those Archons. He still has a couple of High Templars for the Storms. But the position on the high ground goes to Center, and he's using his Marauders really well for the kiting.
He's even repairing his medevacs. This is very rare to see. He pulls SCVs to repair the medevacs as well as the bunkers, but that new pathway is being opened with the rocks. At least he's attempting for that. One Marauder does get picked off by a good blink. No, he saves it, in fact. And this is a great position, but here comes that first storm.
The first storm is in, but nothing dying. And those medevacs, as long as they have the energy, will heal up the Terran army. Third base, of course, also being built for Alicia, who realizes that he cannot potentially end this game now.
Yeah, I think that was Alicia saying, maybe I can actually just win this. He doesn't lose too much ground, but he doesn't win the game. And there's no armory for Center. With no armory, no second eBay, getting his upgrades out is going to be continually a big problem, especially since Alicia's already started his +2. It's about halfway done. He's got a third base coming up right now. This was a cute idea with the Widowmine production, but not going to be successful. He will lose his factory. He needs to start his armory before he does.
The double drop, maybe just in range of the Zalaga.
He needs to start his armory, Keldor, or he's not going to have any more upgrades this game.
You're right, he needs to do it right now. The armory is not there. Double drop still heading in, and let's see, where's the production tab?
No armory. He's not going to have any more upgrades this game, I don't think. And his whole army eats a storm. That is basically GG right there. Alicia is destroying him here.
Hold your horses. A double drop?
Yeah.
No, he's actually being repelled. He has the Stalkers there. He knows it's there. The Stalkers are just waiting for it, and he saw them, and yeah, you're right. Now we have the entire army of the Protoss player moving to the top right, and keep in mind that these two medevacs that were at the bottom, that could have potentially done a lot of damage, are now missing at the defense.
Yeah, they're not there. And he's going to try to attack by ground, but honestly, 4 High Templar ready to storm right in this army. A forward pylon. The third base is not up. This Mothership Core should be able to deflect this for a little while, and he's got the Stalkers.
He's just going for the snipe. He's sniping the Natural. He wants to take it out. At the same time, we have the Storms now at the top of the ramp, and those SCVs are in trouble trying to repair the bunker, but the Natural is gone.
Yeah, and you know what? Those Storms hit mostly SCVs, which, even though it seems like a great thing, is not good if you actually have to deal with the Terran army, so he loses a lot of ground there.
There are 3 orbitals, Wolf. He can use those mules to make up for the lost Harvesters.
Yes, he certainly can. Again, though, upgrade's a problem. He not only needs to build the armory, but before he can build that, he needs to rebuild his factory, and I just don't see it happening. Despite the fact that Alicia is never able to quite end the game, he still has way too many edges here, and the third base for him allows him to mine from 2 bases, evening up the economy. Not a good place to engage, though. He needs those storms. Here they come. One is down. The second one is great as well.
But the Protoss players are moving in once again. The Archons leading the charge here. The Zealots moving in, a few of them going straight for that third base that has to be lifted once again. But the Stalkers are blinking and trying to take down the command center, and they will.
Command center is gone, and it looks like so are the chances for Center here. He's got 38 hit points on this medevac. Not going to last too long. We'll kill some probes. but Alicia looks like he's going to ignore it and go for the kill here. And this time it looks like he may actually get that finishing blow. The bunkers fall.
No
There's
repair.
a storm on those
No
units.
repair on the bunkers, and they will die, and so are the hopes of Center to go for an early 4-0 against Axiom-Acer today. Yes, those few Marauders do damage, but the main base of Center is going down. The natural already eliminated. And Axiom-Acer starting a small comeback here with Alicia taking down Center.
This is exactly what they needed, because not only is this a win, it was a pretty crushing victory for Alicia. So you can come out of the booths all smiles, give them the high fives that they were looking for. And
we have now an 3-0 for Alicia versus HOT, but he still doesn't look happy.
Yeah.
He knows that this is only the first step. Baby steps today.
oh, he's got a ceremony plan. Or either that, he's just going to give some hats to fans, which is really nice of him. But really, really well played, and Center is frustrated. That was a rough game for him. He wanted the team to take the 4-0, perhaps so he could even hide some more strategies for the other players that are playing later, but
There were just a few things in the game that probably make him feel like really bad. That one medevac that gets sniped,
Yeah,
where
that's
he was
the
in a
huge-
massive lead, not building an armory or anything, any kind of tech structure before his factory gets taken out.
yeah, that's those two are really big turning points in the game, especially that first medevac, because that took away his pressure.
Yeah.
Without the pressure, Alicia, who took all the risks in the world, getting all those upgrades out, the Storm, the Charge, the Blink, the Forge upgrades, all that gas he spent, he didn't really have to worry about defending while he was teching because there was no medevac pressure anymore.
With the next game is the game that I worry about the most. From a perspective of Axiom-Acer. Because, let's face it, the last time that we saw Hart in the booth against a Zerg player, he looked absolutely clueless what to do. At points, he was just running around on the map with, like, no goal. There was no intention of him to do anything. He looked lost.
Yeah, he really did. We saw this game just recently where he looked like baffled by what the Zerg was doing.
I mean, any player can have a bad day, and I certainly think that the game that Hart played against Curious when Axiom-Acer was facing StarTill was one of those matches where we saw him having a really bad day, so I don't think it's really the best indicator for how he usually plays his Terran versus Zerg, but he needs to make sure that that doesn't happen to him again today.
Yeah, and Boom Boom is a player who has he's brimming with confidence. As the AZUBU coach joked earlier, he's got too much confidence.
Bungu was actually the one who said the last time that they played that he wants to go up against Innovation. The coach joking that he doesn't think that Boom Boom is strong enough to really pull that off. But this is another Terran player that we're talking about, and Hart is nowhere near the level of Innovation, even though Innovation lost his match today.
Yeah, this is true, and I really hope that Hart can keep his confidence together here and make sure he's got the momentum, because his game against Curious, Curious is a really good player, and that's part of why he was not able to take the win. But it felt like he didn't know what to do, and he was very timid in the game. Like, he was nervous about his opponent, he wasn't sure where to commit, and he didn't attack enough. He was too passive, and Curious got too much.
Too passive.
And I hope that that's different today. I hope that we see something a little bit different.
Think about what happens if Hart takes the game right now. We're going into its sixth. That with all the trash talk that we had between MMA and Sleep earlier on, that would be just such a great game, and that could potentially lead us to an ace match as well. That would be such an epic conclusion for a day where Axiom-Acer fell behind with an 0-3. Alicia has started the comeback, but he needs to rely on the two Terran players to make it happen.
Yeah, he really does, and I'm stressing for Axiom-Acer right now. If you're an Axiom-Acer fan, I'm sure you are as well. This is going to be a very difficult match to win, but they won with Alicia. They've taken step one, and they got 2 more steps to go to force the ace match. Definitely don't want to be in their shoes right now, but it's not over yet.
It's Whirlwind again, by the way. Whirlwind is once again the map. That's the same map that Hart played against Curious. And I just want to see a completely different game from him.
I think for that reason, it's like he's clearly got some sort of plan against Zergs, because he's picked the map twice in these predetermined matches where he wants to play on Whirlwind. He's probably expecting a Zerg, but he just didn't get that the way he wanted it to be against Curious. He wasn't able to get that pressure going, and I feel like he's probably learned from his mistakes, and we'll see a little bit more pressure from him. Not so much this passive, calm, waiting almost style that we saw.
The funny thing is that Curious didn't really do anything to pressure Hart and to put him into the position where the Terran player found himself in later on. So Hart has to show that he's able to dominate the match, that he's able to just go in and force the opponent to play his game. Boom Boom is very experienced on the other hand. He feels super confident, and this is going to be, for me personally, this is going to decide a lot today. Because if right now Hart takes it, I can definitely see AZUBU Axiom-Acer bringing it to an ace match.
Absolutely.
MMA versus Sleep is going to be a great match.
All the trash talk there like I said, it's almost like the Chekhov's gun here. I think it might just happen no matter what we saw. That's what I was thinking we were going to see, but now it's looking tough for Hart. He really needs to pull something really special off today. At least pull a 180 off of what we saw from the last time. He doesn't have to play like a magician. He doesn't have to jump through hoops of fire, but he needs to put that pressure on. He needs to be attacking, be aggressive, because that's how you have to play as a Terran on this map.
Yeah, back then when he played the last time, there was also just, I think, a few days or even hours after we saw the patch come in and the changes to the Widow Mines that might have maybe messed with him a little bit, where he wasn't quite sure if he could really engage in fights that he was confident to take in the old patch, but with the new ones, he didn't really know about the mechanics yet all that well. Whatever it was that day, maybe he just had a breakfast, we don't know, but he definitely has to show us something else today, because his team is relying on him quite a lot right now. They fell behind with an 0-3, and then finally with Alicia, they had a player in the booth that was able to win this match against Center. Now they are 3-1, and with Hart winging it, they could at least put it to that 6 map where MMA has a chance to tie the series up, force an ace match. And in an ace match, if you send out Innovation, he's angry right now. I mean, losing that game against Ragnarok in his best matchup, that's not where you want to be if you're a player on that level. You look at it and like, all right, I want to have a chance to redeem myself. And the ace match would be the best way for him to do it.
Exactly. He's probably hungry for that victory, and they're still hanging on.
Yeah.
Axiom-Acer is hanging on by a thread here, but they've got to, basically make no more mistakes. Alicia, tough win. He won it. Okay, Hart, if he plays a good game, he can do this. It's not like he's up against Symbol. He's up against, a slightly lesser-known Zerg player, but Boom Boom is somebody who was successful in the past, but these days is looking okay. But if you're looking at Boom Boom, you're like, he's not Symbol. He's not Curious either, actually, and he is beatable. I can do this.
The one problem that you have to deal with, of course, is that Boom Boom and all the AZUBU players right now are in a position where they feel invincible, I would say. I don't think that they're going to get too cocky and too arrogant here and think that it's going to be an easy victory for them today, but they must feel in a really good mood, even with Center losing, because they have the momentum going for themselves. They have achieved already a lot over the past few weeks, so this is definitely adding a bit of strength to Boom Boom's performance now.
By the way, the HOT6 Cup is coming up, and you guys can see the schedule down there. It starts on the 4th. There'll be, of course, 3 matches, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and the finals will be on Saturday, and they're actually going to be at Sejong University. So if you've been to Sejong University in the past, we had a few finals there, so pretty easy to find that venue. So if you're in Seoul or if you're planning on coming to Seoul, check that schedule out. Of course, the non-finals will be here in the studio, so you can always come here and, of course, listen to the commentary in English with headsets and enjoy the matches live. So make sure you tune into that and mark that on your calendars if you're going to watch at home online.
Yeah, definitely check that out. But right now, I really want to see the next game.
Yeah,
I want to see the Terran versus Zerg. I want to see what Hart has prepared and also what Boom Boom has prepared for this map. It's a big map, and traditionally it was a map that was picked a lot by Zergs. Terran players then found themselves in a little bit better spot. Innovation, one of the strong players on this map of all things. And keep in mind that Hart is also in a team where it's a little bit tricky to train with the Zergs since they don't have a lot of them on the roster and also in the team house right now, so they will have to rely a lot on friends and just Zerg players that they know. But at the same time, you're playing you have in your team a few players that are really so good at the matchup that you can always ask them for help and for advice.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, every team has also friends in other teams. I'm sure they're talking to FOU right now. I'm sure they're talking to StarTail right now saying, hey, you guys didn't make it, but do you want to help us out so we can get revenge here on AZUBU who knocked you out? So it's always players that they can rely on. Every player has friends, that are on other teams. Even, they can ask some players that they used to be on teams with in the past, because all these players have been on different pro gaming teams in the past, in StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2. So you've always got people to rely on. So it's not always just about, okay, we don't have very many Zerg players in the team house, but you've got players you can rely on. And Mekia, Impact, he's a good player to ask for help as well.
Yeah, definitely is. And he's actually one of the players that we expected to also be in the lineup today. Maybe he's saved for tomorrow, where you then also can just rely on him once more and give him a little bit more time to prepare. But either way, now it's on the Terran players to actually turn it around, and that's not going to be easy. But it's also, even if they lose it in the last match, for example, or in an ace match, it's just always so much better to lose a match like pretty close and be in a position where you said, like, yeah, we had a fighting chance there, than to get completely crushed, because that is going to work against the confidence that you have. And Axiom-Acer was on top of the world, and then suddenly you lose 3 games in a row, and you really rethink everything that you so believed in for the last few weeks. Because that's the problem that you have when you are kind of uncontested in the regular season. You go into the finals right away, and you think, yeah, of course we're going to win this. We beat them twice already, and we made it look easy. So then they go in, and I guarantee that they practice a lot. I mean, Crank always is one of the coaches that is just motivating his team all the time. But still, maybe in the back of their heads, it was like, yeah, of course we're going to win this.
Yeah,
There's
of
no
course.
doubt about it.
In the back of your head, you've always got to think that way a little bit, because if you are the best, you have to know that you're the best. There's no way you can forget that, right? So it's always going to be in your mind subconsciously. One reason why I feel like it doesn't affect them too much, or at least it shouldn't, is because Crank didn't even know he was already in the finals when he got to it. He was like, oh, well, we were prepared to play the rest of our matches. So, as it turns out, we're going now into our game finally here, and Crank, given Axiom-Acer hat to rep here, or an Axiom Esports hat, I should say, like the ones that Alicia gave out earlier.
Hard. He has to pull through for his team right now, and it's not going to be an easy victory for him here. At least I don't think so. I would be surprised if Boom Boom just rolls over and dies, because this is definitely not the style of B4. But we could definitely see an intense match here. This is the map that he's chosen twice now. And even though he got crushed the last time by Curious, there must be a reason why he is going up against Zerg players on Whirlwind so much. So maybe I'll finding out today. Can he deal with the pressure though?
Yeah, Hart is one of the weaker players on Axiom-Acer, but it's oftentimes, I mean, if you look at his stats, that is to say, but when you look at his play, sometimes he just goes against players who are really, really strong. He has bad days. Everybody has bad days. He hasn't played too many times in the GSTL. And
I mean, on the other hand, you look at Boom Boom, and Boom Boom doesn't have an impressive record against Terran to begin with. The problem with that is that we said the same thing about him going up against Protoss players, and then suddenly he takes down Trap, and he crushed Trap. So he has prepared a lot, and he has a lot of experience even from Wings of Liberty. This is going to be this is going to be epic. I love this game. I love the next two matches that we might have here.
Boom Boom is, in GSTL matches, 20 and 18. He's come out, if you just look at that, it's not about the win ratio. Always consider when you see those numbers, you compare how many times Heart's played in GSTL, how many times Boom has played. Boom has played 38 times. He used to be on Prime, he played for them a lot. He's a player who's been relied upon a lot, and that makes him, reliable. He's somebody that has won for you more than half the time when you needed him. He's come out so many times, and he looks hungry in typical Boom Boom style there. He actually switches his emotions from hungry to sleepy there. But this is going to be a really, really interesting one for me, because I want to see how Hart switches things on. What is different today than was the match we saw him against Curious on the very same map in the same matchup? How is he going to change things up?
So true. He has to, and I also want to see what he's going to do. And Boom Boom in a matchup where he's traditionally speaking in Out of the Swarm not the strongest player, but we also didn't see a lot of his games in the last 2 months. The last game that he actually played was at the WCG qualifier, and that was all the way back in July. So since then, a lot has changed. We had the recent patch as well, and let's see how Boom Boom changed up his style, how Hart is going to play today. Hart needs to win it, or Axiom-Acer will lose the first match here against AZUBU here at the GSTL Finals Day 1. Brought to you by Colin Wolf.
Flicking stroke, you like iodine. The blueprint, these shoes, that my mind design.